Hey everyone and welcome back. So in the previous video we have learned how to create our RTMP client, and right now we will move to the service part and start creating our service. So first thing to do is to create our RTMP service class, which will extend from the Android app service. I'll implement the onBind and return null since I'm not going to use the binder. So let's create other classes inside this package. The next thing is our TMP broadcast receiver, which will be extended from broadcast receiver. So Android entry point. I will add the service repository next here. Let's create the next class, our TMP service actions. It's going to be a enum class. It will have start service, stop service, and switch camera. And the next class is going to be RTMP service repository. It's going to be injectable and it will have a constructor, and it also will inject the application context. So use the context like this. Before I forget, I have to add this service and the broadcast receiver inside my manifest file, just like that. Okay, so let's start with our TMP service repository. It will have three functions: start service with a URL of type string, and stop service, and switch camera function. So inside my start service, I'm going to create a new thread and then start it, since I want to start the whole process of foreground service inside another thread. Create an intent, pass the context to it, and as the destination, I'll use RTMP class and then put some extra to it with the name of URL and the value of the URL. And then context.startForeground service and pass the intent to it. Also, do not forget to add the action to it, which will be RTMP service actions.startService.name. Same goes for stop service, but don't need any extra, and just stop service. And for the switch camera, just switch camera. So let's move to the RTMP service class and handle this situation here. Let's start with creating our notification for our foreground service. Let's add a section of variables here, notification section, and then private latent var notification builder of type notification compat.builder. And then I want my notification manager class, manager, and inside my private font setup notification, I'll instantiate them. To that, using notification manager, I'll instantiate it using get system service with the name of notification manager class. I'll instantiate my notification manager and create my notification channel like this with the ID of RTMP channel, the name of, I don't know, foreground, and importance is going to be notification manager importance high. Let's create our intent action for this notification. It's equal to new object of intent. Starting package is going to be this, and the target is going to be our TMP broadcast receiver. Also, I want to apply an action to it, which is going to be action exit. We'll use it later to stop the whole process. And the pending intent of this notification is going to be pending intent dot get broadcast. The context will pass this. Request code is going to be 0. The intent of it is going to be the intent that we have created before, and for the flag we'll pass flag immutable. So using notification manager, let's create notification channel first, and then let's instantiate my notification builder using notification compat builder class and pass context to it. For the channel ID, we have to exactly use this channel ID and then add action or the role. Let's import and call. The title is going to be exit, and the pending intent we will use it here as the action of it. You can set the small icon as well, or that meep map see launcher. So our notification builder is ready. I'll create another function, private fun start service with notification. Simply use start foreground with ID of 1, and for the notification we simply use notification builder.build. I'll add another listener to my class to notify whenever a stream is started inside my service. So let's call it listener, and it's going to be exact same as RTMP listener. Actually, I have to extract this RTMP listener here, create a new interface and call it RTMP listener. Let's go back here and use this RTMP listener. So inside my RTMP service as well, I'll remove this, and I'm going to create a companion object to store some variables which I can access to these variables globally. The first one is going to be surface view of type HK surface view, and it's going to be null initially. Then the is service running to keep the track of our stream, which is going to be false initially as well. And then is stream on to keep track of stream, and then listener to register for the events of type RTMP listener. It's also going to be null initially, and the current URL, you will see it later, but when we use it, when we close the application and open it again, we want to store the current URL here and set it inside our edit text. So let's go and inside my onCreate function. First, we want to set up notifications and then instantiate my surface view using HK surface view and pass the context to it. And then I'm going to create a private variable, private var RtmpClient of type RtmpClient. It's going to be null initially. Inside my onCreate, I'll instantiate it is equal to RtmpClient and pass the surface view. And for the listener, I will let my RTMP service implement these two functions. So whenever stream is actually connected, I'll use my listener and tell on stream connected. Same goes for on stream closed. So right now we set up our surface view, our RtmpClient and its listener, and also we handled our notification section. Now it's time to start the incoming instance and start the whole RTMP process inside our RTMP service based on these three functions. That's what we are going to do. To that, let's go and override the onStart command function. Let's remove this return and add our return start sticky. Let's call super.onStart command, and then using intent we'll check if it's not null, and using when incoming, using this instance, incoming instance that action, we will check if it's equal to RTMP service actions dot start service dot name. We will call a function handle start service and pass the instance or incoming instance to it. I'll create the function. Don't need any of return type here, so duplicate them. Stop service, we will handle stop service, don't need any parameter for this, and switch camera, handle switch camera. So let's create this function as well. To switch camera, we simply use the RtmpClient and switch the camera. To stop the service, actually you have to start service with notification first, set the is service running to false, is stream on to false, RtmpClient call stop to it, and dispose your surface view, then set it to null, stop self, and notification manager cancel all. And for the start service, first we want to check if is the stream running is false. We want to start the service. If it's running, we don't want to do it, so set it to true. Then we will extract the URL from the instance that get string extra with the name of the URL and check if URL is not null. Then we want to set the current URL to it, RtmpClient.start, and start service with notification. And also let's not forget to set is the stream on to true here. So that's it for the RTMP service class. Now let's go to the broadcast receiver and handle the incoming action exit here, which we will launch an instance to this broadcast receiver here with the action name of action exit. Let's copy this action exit. Let's inject the service repository here, and then inside my onReceive function, I want to check if intent.action is equal to action exit. Then I want to use my service repository stop service, and then using the context, want to start activity and pass new instance to it. For the beginning part, I'll pass context and I'll add a close activity to my application to properly close the whole process. So let's add activity called close activity. It's going to extend app compat activity. Let's override onCreate method and simply just finish Affinity. And also add it to your manifest, just like that. And we don't do anything, just finishing Affinity, finishing the whole application. And inside your broadcast receiver, we will call close activity class.java. And also we wanna add a flag to it, which will be flag activity new task. So that's a proper way to close your application and stop all of your services. So our service part is ready to use. It's time to move to the UI layer and use this service part. That's it for this video. On the next video, we will start working with main activity and start running this service and also running our RTMP process. Till the next video, see you everyone.